What's up everybody, this is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be doing today is we're going to be making some fish cakes. I'm going to be using cod in these fish cakes, and to change things up a little bit, what I'm going to be doing is cooking it out on the Weber kettle grill with the Drip N Griddle from Adrenaline Barbecue Company. Now, I'm going to be using the Weber kettle grill, but this will work just as good in a regular skillet in your kitchen. Cast iron, preferably. Anyway, I have my coals getting heated up on my grill. The first thing I'm going to do is I have about 1.25 pounds of this cod. Once my grill gets up to temp, we're going to just throw it out there and get it cooked. Okay, guys, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to cook this fish. So right now I have my pan away from the coals because we're going to cook this kind of low and slow. I'm just going to throw in a little canola oil in here. We're not going to season this fish at all because we're going to add plenty of seasoning down the road. We're just going to go ahead and throw our fish in here and let this kind of cook while this side is coming up to temperature. Well, it looks like it might be raining out there, so we might want to run through this real quick. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and make everything that we need to make these fish cakes beside the fish. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our 2 pounds of potatoes. We have a cup of breadcrumbs, and all these ingredients and amounts will be in the description below. We have our dill, and this is about 1/4 cup of dill. About 2.5 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese grated. 2 garlic cloves that are minced. Whatever seasoning that you want, I have Old Bay Seasoning. About 2 tablespoons, maybe about 2.25 tablespoons. And I'm not really adding too much seasoning to this because we do have that tartar sauce. Actually, I didn't even mention the tartar sauce. There's a tartar sauce that I made a day ago that's had a chance to rest, so we're going to add to this, and it's going to be excellent. We have 1/4 of an onion that's minced up or finely diced, and then we have 2 beaten eggs. So we're just gonna kind of mash this in, and what we're gonna want to do is have this pretty good to go, pretty mashed up, so when the fish is done, all we have to do is mix the fish in, and we won't end up breaking a lot of it up because this is already going to be done. So we've had this fish on here for about 15 minutes. It looks like it's cooked enough for me. We're going to go ahead and pull these off, and then we're going to let them cool down for about 15 minutes before we start making our fish cakes. Let this fish cool down for about 15 minutes. I took a paper towel, wiped that griddle down. I'm letting that kind of come up to temperature right now, or at least hot enough to go ahead and grill these fish cakes on it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and add our fish in with the mixture that we made earlier. And we're just going to kind of work this in. We're not going to really mix it too hard. I still want there to be some kind of flakiness to this. And as a matter of fact, it looks like it might be time to just get on into this. And you know what? This looks mixed enough for me. Let me go ahead and taste this right quick. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more seasoning to this, but let's get on to making these fish cakes. I did add about another 1.5 tablespoons of Old Bay Seasoning just because it seemed like it was a little bit bland, so we're going to go ahead and make these fish cakes. I'm going to make them whatever size you want. I'm going to go kind of with the medium size on it. Make sure that if you do put them on something that's foil, that you don't push down on them too hard. You want them to be easy to pick up when it comes time to either grill them or whatever, however you plan on doing them. So it looks like we're going to end up with about 11 and a half, maybe a little baby one to end this. Alright guys, we are out at the Weber Kettle Grill. I have my Drip N Griddle in place. I already have a little bit of canola oil on there, but I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit more on. Go ahead and add our fish cakes to it. And I'm going to just cook these until we get a nice little crust on it on both sides, because they are fully cooked already. They've been on for about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and check them and see how they're doing. You know what, that one probably could go a little bit longer. We're fine on that one. Good on that. Good on that one. And these side ones over here, you know, it does cook a little bit slower over here. And somebody was asking me about this Drip N Griddle, and one thing I actually like about it, because they were asking if it slid around, one thing that you could do is just kind of move this off the heat if you needed to. So that is actually a plus about this unit right here. So it looks like these three here only have about another 5 more minutes to go. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more oil to it. So this is a done deal. We're going to go ahead and take these off. I'm going to go ahead and get my homemade tartar sauce out, plate this stuff up, do a taste test, and see what we think. All right, y'all, this is a done deal. It's time for us to get down to this taste test. Now we're going to be taste testing. Our first bite is going to be to pick up the flavors of the tartar sauce. So what do you think about that?
It's real nice. The onion in there, still nice and crisp, ain't soft. Tartar sauce is great with it. It's a really good sauce with this patty.
Alright, so what do you think about the fish cake?
It's good. Outside's nice and crisp, inside's nice and moist. Fish is cooked perfectly. I love it.
Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.